Will Season 2 save Diablo 4? Well, the answer to that is probably no, if you're not on sheer copium at this point.
Hi, Zizrid here. D4 developer update. They started a bit early, but we're gonna react to it and see what is the Season 2 news.
Big things.
This is me reacting
Lord
hard.
Zero's army is pushing across Sanctuary in an event called the Blood Harvest, which will always be active somewhere on the map, but will change locations in a cyclical way.
Okay.
Blood Harvests are large-scale open-world events where vampires have overwhelmed an area in the hopes of enslaving the populace, harvesting their blood, and siring more vampires.
Players will venture into these areas to
We've
rescue
seen this already, right?
prisoners, stop
Harvest?
sinister rituals, and hunt for high-value enemies. Of course, they'll be rewarded for their efforts with a variety of new items, as well as the potent blood that fuels their vampiric powers.
This sounds like Helltides, only except of a chest that gives you loot. There's a chest that gives you power depending on how many of these things you have killed. Oh no. Oh no. Well, admittedly, another Helltide is not the worst thing possible, but oh no.
In Season 2, the Season of Blood...
By the way, I can already see a huge problem with this. We don't know if the caged huts are gonna stay in Season 2. By the way, they should, otherwise you're just removing content that is desperately needed in the game that already is bad, but hey, at least it's something, right? But this, the fact that it just changes how a whole zone works, means that this is gonna be 100% content that gets removed from the game when the next season happens, because this can't be a permanent thing. It can't stay like that. And that's problematic. That's really problematic, knowing that this content from Season 2 is 100% getting deleted in Season 3.
We're going to be adding 5 new returning endgame bosses for players to engage with once they get into World Tiers 3 and 4. Players will be able to earn the materials to summon these bosses by completing Whispers and by completing Helltide events.
We have some new enemies with power.
That's already a mistake. People don't even get to World Tier 3, okay? Getting a level 70 is too hard. You get bored. You get all your gear upgrades at roughly level 53, and then you just need to grind until 70. That's really not fun. That's really, really not fun.
Powerful elemental attacks, giving players more reason to seek out and equip gear that enhances their resistances.
What sets these new in-game bosses
Harvest
apart
and
is that they offer
ritual.
a new way to farm uniques. So if there's a build-defining unique you're after, you'll be able to target farm specific bosses.
Wow.
And our most challenging boss that we're going to be adding as part of Season 2 is also going to have an opportunity to drop extremely rare unique items that players have been hunting for.
Wow.
We're also going to be adding some quality of life updates
That's good, though.
in Season 2. First of which is
Gem
we're taking
stash.
our gem system and making it so when gems drop for the player, you're actually collecting materials. They're going to be stored differently. They're not going to go into your inventory the same way, to help alleviate some of the concerns about inventory space.
I can't believe this! Who would have ever think that this is... Oh my god, I never thought that this would be a good idea. That's... Wow, how did I not see this before? Oh, it's amazing, Blizzard. Thank you. The most core feature of Season 2 has been announced. The rest of the video is probably useless at this point. Oh my... Wow. All of this time playing this game and having, like, this many useless clutter of gems rolling around it, I never once thought that it's a good idea to maybe have a special dedicated stash for them. Whoa, what's next? An elixir stash? No way.
Based players have talked about before.
As long as you finish the prologue, you can now choose to skip the rest of the campaign and dive straight into creating a seasonal character.
Yo, that was already a feature in Season 1. Now they're just blatantly lying about things that have already been in the game from Season 1. That this is a Season 2 mechanic. Oh no.
If you previously unlocked
no.
a Mount Diablo 4, it will be immediately available to use when you begin your journey through the Season of Blood. And we've made it so that renown rewards persist through seasons, so that the reward is now account bound.
As we do with every
The thing that's the renown system is the thing that everyone except them wanted to change, okay? Everyone wanted the renown system to be completely deleted because of how stupid it is. No one wants to spend 3 hours clicking on 50 statues. It's so stupid and lame. And the Diablo 4 devs were, no, that's fun. That's fun. You just don't understand it. And now they're proudly announcing, yeah, the thing that we were never going to change on our own because we don't play our own game, we changed it. Now congratulate us.
New season, we'll be adding a new season journey and a new battle pass filled with new, like vampiric themed cosmetics for them to collect, and we'll also be adding some new town floor cosmetics, both in the free and paid versions of our battle pass in season 2. We'll also be making a number of other changes to the game, updating unique powers and items, reviewing legendary aspects for different classes. We're going to be updating stats like our resistance values across the game, and a number of other balance tweaks to make sure that the game...
Why is there MTX so shit? I don't understand.
Exciting things for me about working on seasons is that Sanctuary's a big place and there's a lot going on.
Because most artists are shit. And do you think there's anyone competent working for Blizzard at this point?
The primevals and the angelic forces are still very much in play, but I think players are going to enjoy seeing some more human-scale dramas play out.
Diablo 4's second season will be our largest content update yet, but we're only getting started. Along with providing new quest lines, powers, and events each season, we'll continue to improve upon established systems by listening to player feedback to make your adventure in Sanctuary the best it can be.
We're incredibly excited for you to explore more corners of Sanctuary, so come join us in the hunt.
Yeah, so you're gonna meet Eris during the course of the season. Eris is a vampire hunter who's been trying to like thwart Lord Zir for the past the past few weeks and months. Trying to hunt them down and try to eliminate them entirely. As you're going through these things, you'll be kind of going across all of the world. And
that's also the first unhot female vampire slayer I have seen in my life. Bruh, why?
I know, Antonio, we talked about how, or rather, we have talked before about how there are a number of dungeons we added with the season, and like you kind of go into some of those part of the quest line.
Yeah, so we have new dungeons that are part of the quest line. You can
new dungeons.
There's a really cool dungeon at the end when you are going to confront Zir for the final battle. And in addition to that, throughout the story, you will be revisiting some old places that are a bit different now that Zir's minions have come and taken over.
I don't feel like they're that great at generating hype.
Is this the new dungeon? It looks like exactly what we already have. Wow. Wow, I'm so excited. Wow.
D4 bad? No, I want D4 to be good, but like, I actually have pretty high hopes for season.
I also have high hopes for season 4 or 5, honestly. I have no hopes for season 2. If this turns out to be good, I'll be surprised. But I do want it to be good. I'd much rather have a good game to play than not. But, like, come on. What's the chances that season 2 is not gonna be shit?
Throughout the season, players are going to be able to acquire up to 22 vampiric powers as they play.
Okay, so let's analyze what we have here. When struck, you have a 10% chance to fear the... Wow! Wow! Something that no one will ever use already. I can very much tell you that no one's going to use this, because why would you want this? 10% chance, that means that this thing is only good in mass swarmings. And if it's a mass swarming, that means everything's gonna die in one hit anyway. So this is essentially just a vampiric power that's gonna ruin your game. It's gonna make the game worse. Great start, Blizzard. Great start.
And these are designed such that they are, unlike in Season 1 where with Wellington Hearts, we had a lot of very class-specific hearts. There's just more combinations and things for players.
When you overpower an enemy, you spawn 3 volatile blood drops. Collecting a volatile blood drop causes it to explode, dealing... Okay, so the overpowered mechanic that no one uses because it's bad and its damage is capped is unbelievably capped. Okay. So yeah, where do they spawn? Randomly around you? Why do you need to collect them? Why can't they just spawn on enemies and explode? You understand, spawning on enemies and exploding is so much absolutely cooler then they randomly spawning behind in the old room you just cleared, and then you need to collect them. Every 45 seconds, your next skill is guaranteed to overpower. Okay, at least they understand the fact that overpower skills don't work. Okay, lucky hit. Up to 50% chance to inflict Vampiric Curse on the enemy's affiliate, chance to spread it to other enemies. Vampiric Curse, stored souls deal in 200% increased damage. Don't know what stored souls is, but this might as well be deal 10% more damage, I guess, overall. When you evade, you turn into a cloud of bats, becoming untargetable for 3 seconds. Enemies along your path take physical damage and are inflicted with Vampiric Curse. Okay? So, it's soul damage, whatever that means. Okay, so this thing makes evade into a useless gimmick. Evade's already in a bad position because it's kind of like trash to a degree. But now you're making evade into what
players to select from and play with as they're thinking about their build. These like missiles, like these spirit missiles that fly out and hit lots of different creatures as you're playing through. So it kind of gives you this opportunity as you're going through packs and dungeons or elsewhere to kind of stack these up and use them to quickly burn down groups or elites that you might have to come across as you're playing. There's other cool things you'll get, like there's abilities for based on other companion skill uses and other things where you can like have like this like where bats will come down and attack your enemies.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm literally watching this for like, please give me endgame content, and that's it.
Progressing through, you'll be dealing with enemy rogues.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Caged hearts are gonna stay. Look at this. See that? See that? That's the cage heart lightning effect that you get that's absolutely useless and no one uses because it's shit. Cage hearts are gonna stay. Okay.
And that's it.
Progressing through, you'll be dealing with enemy rogues, you'll be dealing with enemy
that's what you guys are saying too.
as you're playing, and dealing with their specific like spells and kits that we've created for the season for players to interact with. That players are looking for more
There's not much behind me, trust.
They're looking for more like things to farm, ways to make their characters powerful. So there's some big changes we're making as part of the Season of Blood. And
Lilith is here now.
So now when the player gets into World Tier 3, there's 2 new bosses for them, or 1 returning boss for them to go and engage with.
Okay.
The first is Echo of Varshan, our good boy Varshan that everybody loves, is going to be back in Season 2 for players to be able to hunt down in order to kill, to get various crafting that you can use to summon other bosses later, but also specifically to get uniques that only drop from Varshan. So every one of the bosses that we add as part of the Season of Blood is going to have their own distinct loot list associated with them, with unique items and their...
Why is Duriel called King of Maggots? He's the Lord of Hatred.
Some cosmetic
very easy.
We'll talk about it in a little bit. So that's a reason why you're going to want to go hunt each of these down. Actually, why don't we show? I think we have video of these new bosses.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You see Grigwar.
Wow.
Summoning in for the first time. Very excited for players to go and do that fight. The Beast in Ice in his new lair. And of course,
Beast in Ice is just a literal reskin of the demon thing.
Duriel, maggots.
Okay.
So gross. Yeah, it's super gross.
Camera took damage?
So yeah, these 3 we obviously still have Lord Zir. We just don't want to show off the boss fight just yet, but you know, you get a chance to go.
Literal Nurgle, by the way, but that's okay.
Obviously fight a version of him in the quest line and a much more difficult version of him later. But one other thing worth calling out as part of this,
I'm surprised
the materials
they didn't
that
do
players are going to be collecting to use to summon these bosses.
Also, bring back the Andariel nipples.
Just wanted to mention we're seeing some of the images of mount and some of those item art.
Oh yeah.
Those are also new cosmetics. All right, let's talk about Scrolls of Escape.
Wow.
It's been a little while coming, but Scrolls of Escape will now be consumed automatically if you disconnect while you're in combat. Because this is a consumable item, we feel pretty good about the case where people
Something that they needed to do the moment hardcore came out, but they were like, "Nah, fam, this is fine."
are, and disconnecting
Wow.
on purpose, you're still going to consume that item. So we feel pretty good about this change, and it always sucks to die to a disconnect.
It does.
Did make some adjustments to experience in Season 1 as well. We also want players to be able to get to level 100. It's a goal that many players set for themselves, and it should be an achievable goal. And so in
But it
Season
is.
1, we saw that there were
Yeah,
some players who were
it
getting
is,
frustrated.
technically.
You maybe get to level 75, and you're like, I want there to be more things to do, and this is just feels like it kind of slows down. And we really wanted to smooth that over and make the process of reaching that goal and getting to the
That's
end of the
crazy.
season journey feel like an achievable goal for all our players who invest time in the season. And of course, along the way, you're going to be having a lot more cool stuff to do with all of the boss ladder stuff.
That's right.
It's really crazy when there's not much endgame content. Hopefully there
as
will
I said,
be.
We'll talk more about other changes to experience as we go through this. But moving on for the moment.
Like, people are quitting 'cause there's no content, yeah.
When you skip the campaign to jump into...
Well, first, people are quitting because the game's bad in general and kind of boring. They're probably still not gonna balance out the basic skills, so everything's playable. I wonder if they're never just gonna do that.
world, as many players do at the start of a season, you're going to have more waypoints that start unlocked. All of the rewards
That's
that
good.
are associated with renown will persist. So if you had, and you don't have to, you're not going to have to log in on a different character or anything. Like
Oh,
any reward that you claimed,
finally.
if you claimed it in preseason.
The technology, oh my lord, wow,
On Eternal, in Season 1,
That's so bad.
on any character, you're going to have that reward automatically
so
when you
unbelievably stupid.
when you create your new character in Season 2. And this applies to all of those obols. It applies
In
to,
my opinion, you should have to do the campaign each season as well.
It's just nice to be
Like,
able to
it's
start
fine that you
a
can
new
skip it
character
after
and
having
not
done it
feel like you have
once,
to go
but you
through
should have to
every
do it
single
when the
side
game has
quest
so little
over
content.
again to
It would
get all
help
of the
them
stuff.
so much
yeah,
to do the season
and,
once per campaign.
This is something that's
yeah.
There's
move
like
on.
a
so
really good
little
point,
to do.
Antonio,
It's
because
like
I want to do the campaign. It's just I really don't want to do the campaign. I really don't. I honestly think this is the most poorest lore-wise Diablo game we have ever had. I think if Diablo Immortal has a single shred of lore in it, it probably is better than Diablo 4, honestly, in my opinion. I don't want to do the campaign. If I have to do the campaign again, I think I'm just gonna not play Diablo 4 ever again, honestly. The campaign was shit. Well, the campaign wasn't shit, but it would be so shit in my opinion for the second time around. Because it has nothing. It has so many just boring sleep while someone's talking situations. I can't.
16 hours or
when we are
less of
talking about these
playtime.
general improvements.
There just needs to be content in the game to do.
Overworld monsters will now match your player level in World Tiers 3 and 4. I know that this is in
Huge.
preseason. It worked this way.
I just
Make
hope the
sure
new
that
endgame content they're adding is good.
does
If not, it's
feel
kind of
meaningful
GG.
and powerful.
Yeah.
And you're not just feeling like, oh, I'm just sort of
For a
playing
while,
catch-up.
anyway.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. So first off, there are a number of changes to mounts, but I want to call out that the one that
Do you know they should buff the
consequence of
attacks
this
we have
is
from them
that,
because they look so
it
cool.
was sort of- you're
Like,
gonna
I'll
be able
probably
to be
play
boosted a
every
lot more at a
season.
time.
Yeah.
It just
Way
depends
more-
how
way more
long am I
score
going to
up
play. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
good
going to
point.
force
It's-
myself to
it's
play if I'm not having fun.
Close to 100%,
Makes sense.
I think. It's
Well, I'll
pretty-
have fun for anywhere from like 10,
pretty,
50, 100 hours,
significant.
right?
Right. Look at this
If the
fancy
choice is
in-
now like a
in
D4
slide view.
season starts the same time as a PoE season,
The
there's no
quality of the
choice right
production
now.
has gone up just,
Right.
just as oh, look at this.
We got some production value.
See, like, why don't they buff the
So you
shit
can
out of
see
these
the player
moves?
boosting through the barricade there. You also see the player
Dude, these moves are barely usable. Try to use the Necromancer's one. I don't even know how it... Dude, I still don't even understand how it's aimed. Does it aim in the direction the mount is going when I use it? Does it aim it in the direction my cursor is? I can't even fucking tell, honestly.
They're using their dismount skill,
That
and
does
we have some changes
no damage.
related
Please.
to that as
Yes.
well.
Oh my
So,
God, please.
Some cooldown changes.
No!
Oh, yeah. These are-
Really? Buff the damage?
So I, as Adam mentioned,
Oh,
I
look
posted
at that! The thing that shouldn't even exist in the first place. Mount cooldowns. Oh wow! I'm so happy that they changed the manual dismount from 10 seconds to 5. I'm sure I'm gonna be happy about now waiting 5 seconds instead of 10 for something fucking useless that should have been 0 seconds. Wow, Blizzard, I'm so happy about this.
About this in on social
Why
media.
would you buff the cooldown?
And then there's
I don't
like
want
a
to keep
cooldown
spamming the
before you
move.
can
I wanted to
navigate into
one-hit
those sort
things.
of arbitrary, like.
Yeah, we have tons of changes for Nightmare Dungeons coming this season. The very first big change that we have is teleporting to a Nightmare Dungeon from the map will take the players directly inside the dungeon instead of to the dungeon entrance. This will cut down on having the double load screens when you just want to go and play.
Oh, really? Is the Starfield approach of load screens equals fun, not good, Blizzard? Wow, who would have thought?
Transitions.
We're not just talking about CC on the traps, right?
Right. We're talking about just CC across the board from monsters.
I love Joe
just
Shelley.
In general,
Joe
your
Shelley is
CC
my
time will
spirit
be
animal,
decreased.
dude.
Yeah. So if I get stunned by a vampire knight, I'm gonna spend less time CC'd.
Waiting, yeah.
Right. Less time CC'd and less time going back and restarting the Nightmare Dungeon because you died.
Right.
We've changed them to limit backtracking even further, but we also want to be conscious of making the dungeons just feel too linear. So we found a good balance where the player can engage in the objectives.
Okay, let's look at this. Okay, so this is usually cut off, right? Season of Malignance, you go there, you make... Oh, yeah, this is a good change, because you see, the problem with this layout is, because you don't know what's happening here. You need to take a guessing game. Do you go here, or do you go there? Because sometimes you don't see the skull here, right? So, if you go in that direction, yeah, there were sometimes situations where you're like, okay, I'm missing one thing, I have no idea where it is. And now look at this here. You go here, you go here. Admittedly, why is this so far here? Because I will probably choose sometimes to go here, and I'm gonna be like, oh, well, that's a fucking dead end, thank you, Blizzard. Go here, go there, there. It's not, yeah, this is definitely better, I guess. But, why is there a big thing here? Are they fucking idiots? Are they completely morons? Because look, the thing I said here, you take a guess. Do you want to go here or here? Okay? Well, guess what this is? This is probably kill every single enemy in the map, right? So what happens if you don't go here, but you go here instead? And then you decide to do the lap like this because you don't want to go here. Well, you end up being here, and then you need to figure out that you need to still go back here. This is... They changed the first part here because they recognize that this is a problem to this, and then they literally did the mistake that was made here, but they did it here for some stupid reason. Why? This is what happens when you don't play your own game.
In the content without having to spend so much time running back and forth, which also contributes to the 40% increase to get to level 100. But as you can see here, here's one of the Nightmare Dungeons that we have for Season 2. In this first objective here, we had elites that you needed to kill. So
There's
as
still a
long
lot
as
of
you're just on the
backtracking.
main path,
This is
on the
very
main
easy
loop,
to do with no
you will
backtracking.
encounter them,
Yeah.
and even if you do make a wrong turn,
Right,
the
it is an
penalty
improvement,
for
but,
getting
like, this
back
is so
onto the
easy to
critical
make
path,
zero
is not
backtracking.
that significant. So it's like just less downtime in between reaching these objectives.
You can now search and filter your stash.
Wow.
And I think we have video of this. This includes
Please be
text
letters.
search.
Please don't be.
You've got
No!
filters down
Oh
there.
no! Oh no! This is not even a filter! This is like, okay, Timmy, I understand that you were dropped on your head 15 times as a child and you were born without half a fucking brain lobe. So we're gonna give you this filter. Oh no.
Item type.
Please be text.
Item,
Please
uh,
let
It's
me
not
read
text.
letters.
Filter by.
No,
Please
it's
write
not.
a letter.
No.
Items.
Write a
It's
letter,
not.
or I'm
You can see
losing my
there,
shit.
At the bottom, we've got a text box.
Oh
text, you can
no.
search for
Oh wait,
Fucking
they do?
words
Christ.
and other text.
Oh, I didn't
on
even
items.
notice.
And this searches across
Oh my
other slash tabs too. So if you take a look at the top,
Dude, then why the fuck do you even have this? I almost also had a heart attack because this was so stupid.
there, you can
It's
see
crazy
the,
that that
well,
was not a
in the full
given.
tip right now, but you can see
Man.
that
Oh
there
my
are 4
God,
items
there's
in this
text.
tab
I'm
that
so
have that fill the criteria, and
The
none in
technology
or in this
exists.
case, there are 3 in
Who's gonna even use this?
that tab.
Can you put this anywhere
They're
else where
highlighted
we need
to make it
search?
easier for players to
No.
search through and find out information.
Why did that take so long?
Well, a lot of our UI UX updates in general.
Because you also search everyone else's stash tab that is on the same layer as you, because that's how it was programmed. So, you know, it wasn't that easy.
are, fueled by feedback we've received either, through social media or on our forums.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's right. Streamers, you got streamer mode.
Streamer mode.
Does it come with better RNG?
This is
Q-skip?
With the launch of Season 2,
What is streamer mode even?
so on
Why?
October 17th, Diablo 4 will be available on Steam.
Why?
The nice part about, hey, if you have a Steam Deck, it's another option of being able to play Diablo 4.
Oh,
Who's
shit,
not,
that'll actually be really
take it,
cool, no?
Like on the road with you. which-
D4 is going to be really good to
Yeah,
play
sure.
on Steam Deck.
Yeah, lots of
Sanctuary
I don't know what a Steam Deck is.
on the go.
I think that's pretty much all we're going to get for today.
It's pretty trash. Let's be
Okay,
real.
I mean, we'll see what happens at the next announcement.
It wasn't good.
I
it
think
was
I'm
not
like
good.
a little bit now at the point that I don't care about these talks as much, and that it's not that important to me.
The fact that it looked like for a moment that they failed to make a reasonable search option for the stash tab. The fact that you probably also thought that they fucked that up. Man, that really puts into perspective how bad Blizzard is, huh?
To me, I'm gonna play probably every season, and I'll play anywhere between 10 and 50 hours. If they've added something where I really enjoy it, I will play more. That's pretty much where I'm at right now. The number one thing which Joe did nail was, yeah, there's just not enough stuff for people like me to do in the game, right? Like, there just needs to be more stuff. Maybe we'll have to wait all the way till expansions. It's a lot of people were, somebody in chat said, like, what are you expecting them to add on such short notice? It's like, well,
Short notice? I don't fucking care if it's 1 day or 100 days. You better make it. I don't care. It's not my job to care.
literally have a smaller team and a smaller budget and are adding 4 to 10 times more content every 3 months.
True.
Right? So we just want, I think I speak for a lot of people where I was hoping season 2 would be 2 to 3 systems. 2 to 3 systems.
Probably the reason why they can't add anything good to season 2 is because there's a bunch of pink and purple haired yahoos who are just yelling amongst each other and pretending to be the biggest victim, and that's why no job can be get done.
Systems, the equivalent of Nightmare Dungeons. That's what I was hoping for, because I think they really needed to come out the gate swinging with stuff in season 2. Because season 1, it kind of made sense that season 1 was pretty light, because there's a few things, right? The game is just out, like a lot of people are still like adjusting to that and stuff, and that's fine. And it was developed alongside the game, so I can understand why season 1 was so weak. I don't understand why season 2 would be so weak. I don't understand why they don't want more money either, because there's so many cosmetics they could be adding that would just be really good and easy sales for them. So it's a little confusing. If anything, D4 has made me appreciate and love Path of Exile more, and just how much insane amounts of content.
Last Epoch is soon to take over. Do not be fooled by Path of Shitsile. Last Epoch is the way of gods and true men. Do you want your ancestors to smile upon you while you're playing Last Epoch? Or do you want them to be disgusted at you for being such an absolute garbage existence for playing Path of Exile? It is your choice, but keep in mind, one leads to hell, and that's Path of Exile. So, it is what it is. I'm joking. But anyway, not about the hell pot. But I'm joking. Anyway, this was Quizzer said. That was Gigerian, our boy, who doesn't have an outro. What the hell? Oh man, this is it. Nope. He has an outro in the last 2 seconds. Wow. Anyway, this was Quizzer said. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.